Abraham's son, Isaac, grew up and married Rebekah. When Rebekah was pregnant, God told her that she would have 2 boys. God said, "They will grow up and have families who will be the 2 separate nations. One nation will be stronger than the other, and the older child will serve the younger." Rebekah gave birth to twins. Esau was born first and then Jacob. When they grew up and their father Isaac was old, Isaac wanted to bless Esau. Instead, Jacob tricked Esau and stole his brother's blessing. Esau was very angry, so Isaac and Rebekah sent Jacob away. One night, God spoke to Jacob, "I am the God of your grandfather Abraham, and the God of your father Isaac. I will give you and your offspring this land." God made the same covenant with Jacob as he had made with Abraham. God said, "I am with you and will watch over you wherever you go." Jacob promised to follow God and honor him. Years passed. Jacob got married and had a family. Finally, Jacob took his family and all his possessions and headed home to Canaan. Jacob was afraid that Esau would still be angry with him for stealing his blessing. He sent a large gift of animals to try to make Esau happy. That night, a man appeared to Jacob. The man wrestled with Jacob all night. Jacob refused to give up, so the man injured Jacob's hip. "I will not let you go unless you bless me," Jacob said. "Your name will no longer be Jacob," said the man. "Your name will be Israel, because you wrestled with God and men, and you have won." The man blessed Jacob. Now Jacob went to meet Esau. Esau ran to Jacob and hugged him. He was not angry anymore. Esau returned to his home. Jacob and his family traveled on, and Jacob bought land for them to live on. Jacob was finally home in the land God had promised him. God changed Jacob's life and gave him a new name, Israel. Jesus came that we might have a changed life, forgiven of sin. Jesus' death and resurrection provided sinful people the way to be adopted into God's family. When we trust in Jesus, we also receive a new name, children of God.
Catechism, meow, meow. Catechism, meow, meow. Catechism, meow, meow. Everybody gather around to hear the catechism. Meow, meow, meow. Hey everybody, it's me, Kevin the Cat, and we're here to talk about the Catechism. And today we have our very special friend Marty the Mouse with us. Hey Marty, how are you?
Hey everybody, I'm Marty the Mouse and I'm doing very good. Good to see you.
Awesome, Marty. So today we're talking about question 46 of the Catechism. It says, what is the Lord's Supper?
What is the Lord's Supper? This is a very important one, Kevin.
Yeah, so I remember like a couple weeks ago we talked about the Lord's Supper, and you said that we couldn't eat like Meow Mix or Snickerdoodles or ice cream, that it was very important what we ate. So could you tell us what is the Lord's Supper?
Of course, Kevin. In the Lord's Supper, Christ commanded all Christians to eat bread and to drink from the cup in thankful remembrance of Him. Now, Kevin, this is a very important thing that we Christians do to remember the death and life of Jesus Christ. You can't just use Meow Mix or chocolate milk or anything. We take grape juice because Jesus took wine and drank it, said, "This is the blood that I poured out for your forgiveness."
Wow.
And we use bread and not Meow Mix because bread represents His body that was broken for us. So when we do it and eat it together as a church, it's a very special time of remembrance.
Wow, that's crazy. So what you're saying is the Lord's Supper is a very holy meal that we have together in the Lord's sight.
Yes, it's very important, and we believe that in a very special way, God's presence is with us when we do that.
Wow, that's so cool that God's presence is with us, and we eat the bread and take from the cup in remembrance of all that Jesus has done for us.
Yes, and when we do it, we don't just eat it. We really think about Jesus' death and his blood poured out. We really think about all that it means for us.
Wow. So, let me ask you this, Marty, because I know like some of the kids out there and like me, we have like really short attention spans, and sometimes it's really hard to focus for a long time on what Jesus has done for us. So, how do you like focus on it for the whole time? Because it's really sometimes really long.
Well, I try to think about my sins, and I try to think about the fact that Jesus has forgiven me of them, and that he's given me new life in Jesus, and his Holy Spirit's in me, and that he's bringing me to heaven one day, and that I know him right now, and so many things. It's awesome. I think of a lot.
Wow, that's so cool. I never really thought about that. I could think about my sins and what Jesus has done for me. Like sometimes I just twiddle my thumbs and I'm like, what is this person talking about? But that's really cool. Thanks for helping us, and I think we all understand the Lord's Supper a little better. All right, see you next week, kids.
Bye.
It's time for Name That Object, where you have 10 seconds to guess the object. Go!
So, here's what we're gonna do.
Laura's yelling at me. She's saying, no, your name's not Matt.
Don't hit the table.
Oh!